Hi, I'm Dave Casey, founder of the Innovation Leaders Club. In this video, we're going to look at some basic principles of managing an innovation project portfolio. We're really talking about here innovation project. We're not talking about here about product or services portfolio, the current offering you have. We're really talking about the project. So the future portfolio of offering you will have. So when we're managing the portfolio, we're looking at the current projects, but also we're looking also at the upcoming projects. So we're going to get those to compete to ensure that we select the right amount of projects according to our capacity, but also we select the best one. So let's have a look.
This video from the Innovation Leaders Club will explain what Innovation Project Portfolio Management is. Innovation Project Portfolio Management will legitimize where you spend your efforts by having a joint agreement on strategic allocation, project priorities, and balancing. Ultimately, it should result in an optimal number of active projects to streamline the development. We have developed a 60-page visual guidebook on how to develop an innovation strategy. It is a fully illustrated step-by-step guide to building the foundation of an innovation system. Click the link in the description below to download it for free. The definition of innovation portfolio management is a strategic decision-making process for prioritizing, selecting, and balancing innovation projects. This tool is used to say no and kill projects. It is also a tool used to implement the innovation strategy. Without such a decision mechanism, you might be at the mercy of the next big idea of your colleague, boss, or even clients. Innovation portfolio management has a role to overcome project selection difficulties. It has 5 objectives, which include: implement the innovation strategy, maximize business value, obtain proper balancing to manage risk, establish an optimal number of projects, and mobilize the organization when selecting innovation projects.
Now that we have listed some objectives for managing an innovation project portfolio, let's look how we can implement and what action should be taken for some of those objectives. So we're going to look at 4 of them. The first one is how we can relate the innovation strategy and the selection of the project. So we're going to make sure that we select project related to that strategy, because by itself, a strategy is nothing if you don't get the project to make it happen. So the link has to be clear and strong. The second objective we'll be looking at is how we can maximize the value, how we can ensure that we're working on the right project. And so obviously we have to make sure we prioritize them and we select the one which are on the top of our list. So let's have a look.
For instance, let's say you do not have an innovation strategy, but wish to implement portfolio management practices. Is it doomed from the start? The answer is no. Even if you do not have an innovation strategy, you will still be able to prioritize projects, allocate resources, and balance your portfolio. However, you will miss an important criterion. Are these projects helping us accomplish our vision? Ultimately, you will probably end up with too many exciting project proposals and no arguments to say no to any project. The first objective of the portfolio review is to implement the innovation strategy. This is an example from a furniture manufacturer who's competing against IKEA. In this example, the manufacturer had a pool of resources that has been allocated to 4 strategic arenas. 1 focusing on a new distribution channel, which is e-commerce, 2 focusing on products for the living and dining rooms, and they have 1 technology arena that is for new textures development. This manufacturer also had a bucket for other tactical projects unrelated to strategic arenas, such as customer demand, product maintenance, etc. A benefit of the innovation strategy is easing project prioritization against similar opportunities, comparing apples to apples. Otherwise, all kinds of opportunities are mixed and can hardly be prioritized. So once the innovation strategy is defined, it serves as a tool to say no to any project that falls aside from the strategic arenas, which are the areas of focus for innovation. The next objective is to maximize the value of the portfolio by prioritizing projects based on specific criteria. To compare an apple to other apples, you will need to gather projects per strategic arena. Besides the prioritization score, you will also need the resource requirement per project to estimate the development capacity required.
The third objective is to ensure that we have a balanced portfolio. Sometimes people don't even realize that their portfolio is unbalanced. From my past experience, I have seen that many times and people were not even realizing it. For instance, they were having a portfolio which was too defensive. So the defensive means the project was in reaction to the competition instead of being offensive, meaning that it was their own initiative and they were leading on the market. So some others were putting too much emphasis on one region, not balancing some other region. So this is the third objective. We're going to make sure that we balance our portfolio. And the fourth one, last but not the least, to ensure that we activate the right number of projects according to our resources. It does not mean that we have selected 4 projects for this year, that the 4 have to be started in parallel at the same time. So we're going to make sure like the first 2 that have been prioritized get started, or if those were already started the year before and it's a continuation, we're going to make sure they really get staff. And we don't activate the third one if the first and the second one are still having issues with resources. Also, we're going to make sure that we balance resources in the sense that at different stage of a projects, sometimes it requires different resources. So we're going to make sure that we do that adequation correctly. So let's have a look.
The third objective of the portfolio review is to obtain proper balancing by verifying that the innovation portfolio complies with the strategic objectives by performing a bottom-up approach. This is done by verifying that the potential business outcomes of the selected projects allow reaching the strategic objectives. Then the portfolio is assessed to ensure the innovation projects are diversified by having a balance between short and long-term projects as well as between different innovation types. To do so, the portfolio is viewed from different angles. More will be presented in subsequent modules. Finally, the fourth objective is to manage project activation so that an optimal number of projects are undertaken at the same time. This helps to ensure that prioritized projects are done first, and it also reduces the overwhelming feeling one might have when too many projects are conducted simultaneously.
I hope you have found this video useful. Managing the innovation project portfolio, it's a practice which is not that complicated, but provides a lot for the effort that you're putting into. Because ultimately, I've seen a lot of organizations trying to speed up process development. So they were saying, oh yeah, we're developing too slow. But the fact it is they were having too many projects in parallel. And in trying to make selection in the project was difficult because they didn't really have a really strong project portfolio management. And they were starting project anytime and without a proper competition against each other. And ultimately, it was kind of a mess. So instead of working on anything that does not create value, try to focus on your innovation project portfolio first if it's not there yet, and you will see that you're going to get a lot of bang for your buck.
If you haven't already done so, you can get your hands on our popular 60-page visual guidebook for free. Click the link in the description below. Don't hesitate to watch the next video to learn even more about innovation management practices.